Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome, new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing, supporting our channel, and following us. My name is Reverend Penelope Stewart. You can follow Chemistry on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please follow us on Facebook because I give away so much free information. So many resources. I also do a lot of readings there as well, free readings there. So keep up with us on Facebook, okay? I wanted to come here and talk about manifestations. And I thought this was a really good book by Richard Dotts. It's an ebook that I got from Amazon. It's called Banned Manifestation Secrets, Banned Secrets Book 2. And I thought this was an excellent book. What intrigued me about it is when I first got into this, really trying to manifest, it was things that I could manifest really quickly just by thinking about it. And then, bam, it manifests. And then other things I had problems with manifesting, which I had to do a lot of more inner work to manifest other things. But at first I was wondering, I was like, why come I can manifest this and can't manifest that? And so you'll find that too when you do some of your spiritual work. If you're doing any candle work, some of your candle work will work, and then some of it won't work. And what I found is there's an indication that there are some blockages going on. That there are some blockages that need to be removed from your mind in order for it to work. It's too much distorted information going on and too much doubt going on when we go into manifesting. And that's the key to manifestation. But I thought this book was a very good book, breaking that down and giving me a reason why some things I could manifest and some things I couldn't manifest. I thought this was a great book. I recommend this book. It's 11 chapters. It's not really a long book. I think maybe it's got maybe 200 pages in it at the most. But I thought it was a very helpful book for the ones that wanted to understand manifesting, because it starts in the mind first. Just doing the spell or the ritual, that's just a ritual. But you have to believe it. You have to have faith that it will manifest, and then leave it there and not keep doubting it. Because the more you doubt it, you send a signal out to the universe that you don't want it to manifest. So, and the universe is just like an empty canvas. It's an empty canvas where you put your thoughts on. You paint it with your thoughts. Once you have cleared those things out, the universe matches our frequency. Whatever frequency we on, that is what we would experience. That's what we'll experience. So, and once we understand how the universe works, we become more mindful of our emotions and how we feel and what we think. So all those play a big part in manifesting. But let me jump in here to this book. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible. But like I said, this is one of my favorite subjects because I wanted to manifest things, and I wonder why I could manifest other things and couldn't. Other things I could manifest, and some things I could just speak of it and say, oh, I need me some, let's say, I want this necklace, and I could probably get that necklace tomorrow, versus I want a new car, couldn't manifest that, or I want to go on a vacation. Couldn't manifest that, but I could manifest a jewelry or a necklace or something like that. And I wanted to know why I couldn't do that. And this book really breaks it all down. And what I love about this book too, it doesn't discount the inner work. I tell you, those manifestations, do not dismiss the inner work. If you're not able to manifest and you're not able to bring things into existence, there is some blockages there. See, that inner work is going to be important. There's nowhere around it. Sometimes it's nowhere around it. You kind of forced to do it if you want to evolve, if you want to use your manifestations abilities. Sometimes we have to do the inner work. And so let me jump in here. I'm reading the introduction, why I wrote this book. there is a common misconception that when something is on the spiritual or non-physical plane, it is not real. If you want to become conscious, deliberate manifester, then it will help if you remove this limiting belief from your belief system. What is vividly imagined or envisioned in spiritual, non-physical plane is just as real as something which is on the physical plane. And so some of you heard me talk about that in meditation. I've talked about my experience in meditation, going on shamanic journeys and bringing out helpful information, something that I was very unaware of. Really letting spirit lead me. And our spirits know the truth if we learn to trust it. But we have been taught to not to trust our intuition, our spirit. It says most use it unconsciously to create situations which they do not want, and then use those very same manifestative powers to then get themselves out of those situations. Until you see yourself as a conscious creator, as an attractor of everything that comes into your physical experience, you'll always feel powerless. You'll always ascribe and prescribe circumstances, situations, events in your life to external causes. But there are no external causes. Everything happens and from you. This has been the teaching of spiritual masters throughout the ages, regardless of which book you pick and read. But it is so difficult for most people to get because it requires that one takes total responsibility for everything that happens in their lives. The spiritual masters have told us time and time again that the power is within us. It is not in something outside of us. So like I said, this is a really good book. Oh my gosh, it really helped me reading this book, really understanding manifestations and really some things I can do to apply. This book is acting crazy. Let's go back. Okay. I have another little part highlighted. I think this is in chapter 1, I think it's chapter 1. Let's go to chapter 1. Oh, I have something else highlighted. It took me years and years of practice finally to realize that you can physically do all the steps and rituals, but you cannot fool the universe yourself one bit. See, and I was doing all the rituals and all the steps, but you cannot fool the universe, because if your frequency is not matching your ritual, if your mind, body, and spirit is not matching your ritual, it will not manifest. The universe sees through all your thoughts and feelings. So if you are going to do a ritual, then do it with the purest and most aligned intentions. If you have the purest and most aligned intentions to begin with, then no ritual is necessary. So once you get your mind right, get your thinking right, and you really start tapping into your manifestation power abilities, then you probably won't even need to do a ritual anymore. Probably a little vision board, a little meditation or something like that, because the clearer you can envision it and you can match their frequency with your feelings, the better manifester you're going to be. And then don't doubt it. Once you've experienced it, don't doubt that it was manifest, because you've already put it out there on an empty canvas of the universe. Okay? And the secret, let me see, the first chapter is there is no fixed sequence for manifesting. So everybody, and what he's saying by this is everybody would manifest differently. Everybody have to find their own niche on where it's easy for them to manifest. For some people, using ritual, that is easy. That makes it easy for them to manifest. They can tap into tap into their psychology and easily manifest. For some of us, meditation will work better. We can manifest better in meditation. Or some of us just using our words. We manifest quick. So it's up to you to find your niche, what taps into your manifestation's abilities. I hope that makes sense. Notice what has worked for you in the past. For me, I noticed that when I state intentions in certain ways, things have happened for me. And that when I state intentions in another way, things do not seem to happen so easily for me. So what I do is that I take the first instance and study it to see the lesson I can glean from it. I take all my successful manifestations and ask myself, what's common about all of them? And asking myself this question, I focus on how I was feeling at the time, not so much of the steps I took or of the nature of the objects that manifested. I approach manifestation scientifically, but I also maintain a childlike and playful attitude while doing it. So, you know, don't get too desperate about it, because the universe will pick that up. The universe is just an energy. It picks up energy, you know. It just picks up energy. It's an empty canvas. It's just energy. So it's neither bad or good. It just picks up energy, and it will match that frequency. That's just what it does. But it's up to us to find out how to co-create with that universal energy. An intention is stating something you want, or a statement or thought about something which you want. Without an intention, there is no inception or starting thought, and consequently, nothing happens. So think of an intention as a starting point, or a thought that sets into motion a series of observable actions and events. This is where free will comes in. We can set an intention about anything. We can desire anything. There is nothing too big or too small for us to desire and choose to have anything. There are absolutely no limits or limitation, because we do not even know what our limits and limitations are. And that's true. We don't know. You can state an intention in any way, but you do have to state it. Okay? You do have to state your intentions. Some people do not put their intentions in words. They set an intention in terms of thoughts or feelings, or from observing something, and the universe picks it up from there. One thing I've learned is the universe is always there for us. It is unfailing. You do not have to worry about it being not present in our lives, or that it missed out on one of your intentions. Therefore, there is no need to state an intention over and over again if you're clear and pure about it. Just once is enough. Any repetition is for your own conscious reasoning mind only. Some people find it easier to state their intentions or desires formally in words. So you can use a formality too if you wish to. Some people may find that nothing more than a thought is necessary, as it's certainly the case with me for many of my manifestations. At other times, more than a thought may be necessary, and you may find a need to say it out loud once or more than once. Write it down, or even go through a ritual where you state the intention clearly. Bear in mind that no matter what form or method you adopt, only you will know by observing your actual results what works for you. So it takes a lot of observation when you're doing your manifestation. So do a lot of observation when you first start trying to use your manifestation abilities. Because all of us have them. If you can imagine it, you can manifest it. Chapter 3. The intention must be clear. The intention which you state must be clear. It must not be muddled up with bunched up with a whole lot of other things at once. However, you can state universal, broader intentions, and those will work as well. And as the universe will often fill in the details for you in ways even better than you can imagine or envision. So the broader you can state your intentions, the universe is very creative. It'll bring those things back to you. For instance, don't state intentions and tell the universe how to do it. Just let the universe do it. Trust the universe to do that, because that's what it does. If you match that frequency, your intentions are pure, the universe is going to manifest that. It's just a scientific method. Okay, but we must find out what works for us. What makes us tap into our manifestation abilities, you know. And so for some people it's easier, for some people it's not, okay? Working on multiple intentions at the same time is often a recipe for confusion and non-manifestation. If you find that imagine yourself wearing the new watch is the best way for you to state your intentions, then you would imagine yourself wearing the new watch and feeling pleased and happy. So experiment with stating your clear intentions. Start with small intentions. Start to work with setting intentions that are believable to you in your current realm of possibilities, in your current system of beliefs. So whatever is easy for you to grab, start with that, and journalize how you felt when you were stating those intentions tapping into your manifestation abilities, because that is the feeling you're going to need to use when you do your start practicing to manifest other things. So that's important. Chapter 4, getting rid of the automatic counter intention. Now that sucks. Now I dealt with that a lot, because you state your intentions and then the ego like, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, because the ego doesn't want to admit that it's not really real, that our right side of our brain, we're creating this, okay? All this is an illusion. It really is an illusion. Your reality, we're creating this reality. And so the ego doesn't want to admit that. So it'll convince you that you don't have the ability. And at some point, we have to learn how to shut that off if we want to be better manifestors, okay? You generally want to make sure that there are no counter intentions, or that there are no negative thoughts or feelings that contradict the intention. The steps behind manifestation are simple and easy in theory, but understanding them and applying them may take a lifetime of serious inner work. See, I talked about the inner work. As mentioned earlier in my introduction, the universe and your inner self knows exactly how you feel at every moment. You may be able to conceal your true feelings from outside the world, but you can never fool yourself. Your inner self is always aware of how you feel about every subject all of the time. When you have a pure intention, all is well and good. Things will manifest and happen for you very quickly. However, most people also typically do one of these things after setting intention. Immediately, they worry about how they are going to get it. They worry that they are not able to afford it. They worry about whether they are doing the right things to attract it. They worry about whether they deserve it. All of these thoughts that come immediately after you have stated your initial intention and desires are also intentions as well, and they'll be picked up by the universe. So you have to, in the universe, it's not even, it just is picking it up. So we have to, we're always giving off a frequency. So we have to be very careful about the vibrations and frequencies that we're in when we're trying to manifest. So I thought this is a really good book. I liked it. I really did like it. And as well, without discrimination, the universe does not discriminate between good or bad or thoughts. The content of the thoughts do not matter, and hence morality or ethics does not play a part here. If you really desire something to happen, if you really desire something bad to happen, and if you are able to think that supposed bad thoroughly, purely, then it will happen. The converse is, of course, true. If you desire something good to happen and think it purely, it will happen as well. Goodness or badness are simply value judgments we place on things. So be careful, just like I said. The key here is to train yourself to stay in intention purely without any negative, impure thoughts that may taint it, as all those feelings and thoughts are also picked up by the universe. Your vibration doesn't have to be strong. It just has to be pure. You don't have to think about something over and over again. You just have to think about it purely. You just have to not contradict it with your own vibration. So I just said that. Chapter 5, the faster you let go, the faster it comes. And that letting go, I learned that too during the inner work. That letting go, it releases so much, and it brings in so many manifestations when we learn to let go. I'm learning that too on my journey. The universe cannot and does not choose for us ultimately. We choose the thoughts we think, and we're free to choose from a myriad of possibilities by carefully selecting our thoughts. After you have thought or stated an intention purely, the next step is to let it go. If you wish to be powerful, conscious creator, then you have to accept that there is a portion of work that is done by you. And there is a portion of work that is done by something greater than you. So this is, we talked about this in our, I'm going to be discussing more about this in Know Thyself course about tapping into your higher power, because that's where you see a lot of manifestations take place once we have connected with the God of our understanding. And then our reality began to change. So that inner work is very important as well. And this book brings this up several times in some of these chapters. It brings that up. Now here's the part that is not your work. Figuring out how to make something happen is not your work. figuring out how it would come to you is not your work. Doing lots of physical action to force something to happen is not your work. The universe is set up this way and does not need your physical help. See, I have to tell people that you have no control after you have admitted that you have limited control and there's something greater than you that can work that out. It will happen for you. Oh, I just love this because I talk about this in my Know Thyself course. And it's something that this book describes the same thing, you know. So it all lines up, the inner work and being able to say, okay, I'm limited here, but there's something greater than I that can work this out for me. So let me sit myself down. I've stated my intentions and just watch it happen. Because during this process, you do a lot of observing. And the more you observe, the more you experience manifestations. Okay, the more you experience, some of the manifestations you will not like, but they'll be for your better. They'll be better for you. Okay, and then some of them you will love. Okay, the universe is set up this way and does not need your physical help. It, however, requires that you give your permission and set the creative process into motion by exercising your creative powers of imagination and choice. I told you, thoughts are things. Okay, thoughts are things, you know. This is what the great spiritual teachers have been telling us all along. But after you have decided what you want, relax and let everything go. Don't even think about it again. If you do think about it in a positive way, as if the desire has already manifested. You know, and we have to do that every day, speaking abundance. I'm abundant right now. Prosperity flows through me. Right now, and then you have to be grateful for what you have now. Want what you have now. The more you want and enjoy what you have now, the more things, more abundance and prosperity you will experience. So, and some of us have not been taught that. We are in a mind of lack. Even myself, I was thinking like that, and I'm still trying to reprogram myself. But reading books like this, reading materials like this really helps reprogram my thinking. And I think, reading things, it really does help the human mind evolve. The more we read it, we start to reprogram ourselves. Our thinking changes too. Okay, one common worry is that if we do not think about our desires over and over again, they will not manifest. This can't be further from the truth. Once is enough. One clear, purely stated intention is enough, and everything is done. You do not have to keep repeating your affirmation and desires over and over again unless, of course, doing so helps you to purify your intentions and reduce any feelings of resistance. A common pitfall of most people is that they frequently visualize or write down affirmations over and over again to the point of sheer desperation. These people are trying too hard. Conscious manifestation is not so difficult. While it takes a lot of inner work, again, inner work, if you want it to happen, it goes back to that inner work. I can't emphasize that enough. You have to know yourself. You have to know your limitations and when to do it. Some of us are control freaks and we force issues and stuff. And this is where that comes in, at that inner work. Okay? And then accepting things how they are. Conscious manifestation is not so difficult. While it takes a lot of inner work, it does not involve writing your affirmations or doing visualizations all day long. Okay? Now here's the secret. Bring that feeling of reality to the present moment. Not somewhere out there in the future, but into your present moment, right here and now. Don't think of it in terms of something that is unfulfilled or something that is still out there, which you still have to get. Think and talk about it in terms of something happening in your reality right now. If you have the item right now, how would you behave? If you have the item right now, how would you feel? What would you be doing? Would you be giving thanks, or would you be writing affirmations that you have that item? Okay? And I'm just going to go, I just went over a few chapters with you. I thought this was a really good book. It's called Band Manifestation Secrets. Band Secrets Book 2. And I put the author's name here by Richard Dotz. I put the author's name here, but I thought there was some really good information in here about manifestations. And I thought I'd come here and share this information with you. Thank you so much for joining me here today for this book review and to talk about manifestations. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Light and love. May the ancestors be with you.